Okay, so what is the best niche to pick if you're starting an agency, either in the B2B space or just a regular SMMA marketing agency? I get asked this literally 10 times a day, and I'm not even joking, okay? So I get on like 10 sales calls, and each one of them is like, so which niche should we do? And so it's kind of annoying because I say the same thing every single time, but I want to give you a different answer today. So I've always said it's up to you, right? But I'm going to give you a different answer. I'm going to give you a straight answer. I'm going to give you a niche list that you can actually pull from if you want to use those niches. So, but I'm going to give you a preface, right? So what I think about this is a little different than what other people think about this. So I always say this, which is unique offer, unique audience, unique channel. Okay. Unique offer is like what you're pitching to that person. Unique audience is the person you're actually pitching to, and unique channel is the channel you're actually using to reach out to them. So whether it be email or SMS or Facebook messages or LinkedIn, all that stuff. So unique audience is a big portion of that, right? So unique audience, if you have a unique audience, it's probably easier to get sales calls with them. It usually is a lot easier to get sales calls with them because nobody else is reaching out to them. So there's this thing called Blue Ocean. So there's a book called Blue Ocean Strategy. It's a very good book. I'd recommend it. I'm going to talk about it in a minute. But you want to go where the blue ocean is, right? So the red ocean, so there's blue ocean, red ocean. Red ocean is like, say if there's a whole bunch of sharks in this portion of the ocean and they're all eating off of each other, right? So they're all trying to eat each other. There's a ton of blood everywhere. And so it's just like people undercutting people. The only way you compete is by price, all this stuff. And then you have a blue ocean where like nobody's at, right? And so the best way to go to a blue ocean is just target people that nobody else is targeting. So I have several clients that are targeting industries that I don't know anybody else that's targeting those industries, and they're crushing it right now because no one else is doing it, right? And those are the clients that I see get the best results. They don't have to try as hard. They don't have to create a really, really compelling offer. It's just easy because nobody else is targeting them. So it's really easy to get a ton of clients in a niche that nobody else is reaching out to with a really bad offer or a bad outreach methods. So like just using email or LinkedIn, you can still get a ton of clients in those more unique industries just because they're unique. So that's what I recommend to you. I'm going to give you some unique industries that I would recommend, but the thing is as soon as I tell you these, then other people in the comments, or I'm sorry, in this video viewing, right, they're also going to go after those industries, and so they're going to become a little less unique. And the more ununique it becomes, the more people are going to not respond to the messages that they're sending out, right? So in e-commerce, if you're trying to start an agency and you're choosing e-commerce, just stop right now, right? Choose something, literally anything else, to get better results, okay? Don't do e-commerce because everybody is targeting e-commerce. And so that audience is not receptive to those messages anymore because they get 10, 20 emails a day from people like you that are just starting their agency trying to do cold email to them. So here we go. Something that I want to start with is that you can actually get really good results in an industry that's already saturated if you have a good offer. So a unique offer, something that's different than what everybody else is doing. And so you can, usually what I say is you want to do 2 out of the 3. So unique offer, unique audience, unique channel. So you have unique offer and a unique way of reaching out to that audience, then you'll get a lot more responses. And I'm not talking unique like you don't have to pay until you get results, or instead of a 4x ROI, we're going to give you a 5x ROI, right? So that makes it more unique. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like a complete side of the spectrum, right? So a complete different side of the spectrum. By that I mean I had 2 clients. One was targeting, they're both targeting roofing companies. Roofing companies, when I started, was really easy to get clients for because not a lot of people were targeting them. They made a lot of money, and I did SMS outreach to them because nobody else was doing it, right? And so I had a unique audience and I had a unique channel that I was using to reach out to them. And so I was getting 10 sales calls a day with roofing companies. Now it's kind of unheard of because everybody's doing it. And so I had 2 clients running campaigns, 2 roofing companies. One of them had a 10% or like a 7% response rate. And out of those responses, like 90% of them were negative replies. And so they're getting all these negative replies, and they were just, I'm not interested, I'm not interested. And the offer that they were pitching was just marketing services. And so they're pitching these marketing services, not getting any good results. The other client was pitching, hey, I'll help you finish your roofing jobs for you. So he has crews all around America, and they'll come to wherever you are and finish your roofing job for you. Because most roofing companies, and you get this out of market research, but most roofing companies have plenty of work during the summer. They don't need to pay for ads or anything. They have plenty of work. All they need is to fulfill on the work that they already have. So they're booked 10 months out, right, of all these roofing jobs that they have. And so they want to find a way of getting these roof jobs faster. And so they can hire more teams But that becomes an issue of like now the owner has to stop working on this roof. They have to try to hire a team. But then what if something goes wrong with this roof and they're not there, the owner isn't there, and so it's all this stuff. And so this guy says, hey, I have a team. I'm willing to finish the roof for you. If you want us, we'll literally fly out to you and finish your roof. Well, we're a trained team. We're specialized in these type of roofings. I don't really know anything about roofing, but that was his offer, right? And it worked extremely well. He had a 40% response rate, and I didn't see like a single message that was negative out of those 40% that was responding. So every 100 messages, 40 people were responding, and all of them were positive. I only thought I saw one person saying, stop, right? I'm not interested. But all of them were either like, hey, I'll keep you in mind in the future, or yeah, I got this roof, like this is that. And so it worked extremely well. And so you go on the completely different side of the spectrum where instead of helping you get more roofs, I'm going to help you fulfill on the roofs you already have, right? So that's a completely different side of the story. And so you can reach a really tough market by having a really, really good offer. And so I had another client that had an offer to a specific niche. And the offer was, hey, I guarantee that I'm going to get you a sale within the next 30 days. And if you don't, then you don't pay me anything. And that was his offer, and it was really well, right? And so he was charging a little more. It was to a saturated niche, and he was still crushing it with, there was, the outreach that we were doing because he had a really good offer. So you can target a really tough niche and get very good results if you kind of understand the market and you give them what they want, or give them the results that they want. And so the way to do that is you want to be the best in your industry, and that's the whole goal, is to try to be the best that you can. And then the second thing is try to remove the risk as much as possible. And so if I said, hey, I guarantee that you're going to sell it, and you're not going to have to pay me until you sell it, right? That's a really good offer. Or we'll do the roofs for you. There's like no real risk in that, right? And if it's like, hey, you have to give me $9,000 to run ads for you, and then once we're running ads, it might turn into more sales. I'm not sure. There's a lot of risk in that. But if I said, hey, I'm just going to refer you roofs, like how much do you pay for referrals? Oh, you pay $2,000 per referral. Oh, that's great. How about I'll run the ads for you. I'll pay for the ads. I'll do everything. All you got to do is do the roof as soon as it's done, and you give me the referral money after it's done. That'd be a really good offer. So just some ideas for you. All right, cool. The other thing is in the book, The Blue Ocean Strategy, you can you can kind of combine markets and create something completely new out of just combining two different things. So they gave an example, and I don't really like this example, but it's the only one that they kind of gave a clear answer on. But it was like Casella wines, they make yellowtail wine, right? So those like bright yellow bottles. All the other wine on the wine section is all like really cursive lettering, and looks all fancy, and all the bottles are a certain way and all this stuff. And Casella wines, or yellowtail wine, right? The one with the kangaroo, it's this bright yellow bottle, and it's like, what in the world, right? So you have all these other wines that look ununique, right? Or they look unique in their own way, but all of them look that way to where that now they're no longer unique. And so this new wine comes out, and it's bright yellow. And they only have two bottles, which is a red wine and a white wine. I don't know anything about wine, so and it's a lot sweeter than all the other wine. And so what they did is they tried to target the beer drinking market. And so the people that drink beer, we want you to drink our wine because it's sweeter. It's more about the taste rather than the complexity of the wine, right? People are just trying to make wine taste good, even though they know it doesn't. I had wine when I was 5. My mom gave me a small sip, and I thought it was disgusting. So this is how much I know about wine. But anyways, they were able to dominate the wine market by targeting beer drinkers and not targeting the wine drinkers. So if they were trying to come in and be the best wine, right, which the way to be the best wine is to wait 50 years, let your wine sit in a cellar for 50 years, and then come out with wine, right? And so they could either do that, or they could just try to target a completely different market with the right product, But it's still kind of the same market. So it's like wine and beer, it's still alcohol, but it's hopefully that makes sense. So they kind of changed the offering in a way, and then just because they changed the offering to where you couldn't compare it to wine and you couldn't compare it to beer, it was its own new thing, and it dominated the market. So that's kind of some ideas for you. Try to have a really good offer to a niche that already exists, if you can, if you know anything about the market, or just choose a better niche. So here we go. I'm going to give one more example. Most people, there's a ton of artists that are trying to make it, in music, and most of them don't make it, and the ones that do make it are the ones that have the unique sound, right? This person brought this to the rap game. So, for example, like Kanye West, he was nobody likes Kanye West right now, but in the beginning, it was like rap was all gang, 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 and then he came in and was talking nothing about gang, and so everyone's like, whoa, this is a completely new sound, right? So the way to beat the artist market is to just do something completely unique, but it's still making music, Anyways, I'm going to get into it. Here's the niche list. I don't even know if I'm on the right screen here. I'm going to try to move my head. Oops. Okay, cool. All right, cool, awesome. Move my head down and do, okay, sorry. Whoop. There we go. All right, here we go. Niche list. So these are some ideas that I had, and I just wanted to share them with you. So I think I got this from somewhere else, but I put some niches that I thought were good together in here, and I also bolded the ones that I really liked. So we have like accounting, landscaping, a pest inspector, pest inspection or pest control, building inspection, arborists, tow trucks, right? I don't think anyone's really doing tow trucks. You have to think of the ones that no one's really doing, okay? So if you go through this list and you're like, oh, chiropractor sounds good because they make a lot of money and everybody else does it. That's the exact opposite thing you should be thinking, all right? You want to do it because nobody else is doing it. All right, tow trucks, nobody else is doing it, right? HVAC, a lot of people are doing it. Concrete contractors, I don't really hear anybody else doing that. Roofers, everybody else does. Photographers and videographers, it's like, I don't hear many people doing it. Private chefs, that's interesting. Logistics companies, so trucks and logistics are kind of the same. I would look into logistics. Like, I don't think enough people are serving the logistics market, and it is such a big industry. Like, nobody's talking about logistics, which is just trucks, right? Semis going from this place to that place and that place to that place. Like, if you could, some things that I know that logistics companies want is more truck drivers, and so if you ran ads to get more truck drivers, that could probably be a really good company. There are companies already that exist solely for that purpose. Like, we help you get more truck drivers, stuff like that. Commercial, this was mainly a B2B lead list. And so I do put a lot of commercial things in here. So like property developers, commercial, cleaners, stuff like that. E-commerce. Now, e-commerce in a different way. So not in the way that everybody else is doing e-commerce, where they say, hey, do these type of ads for your e-commerce store. Don't do that. Like, we're going to do TikTok ads. Like, that's your unique offer is TikTok ads, but it's not unique anymore because everybody does TikTok ads. It's just so frustrating. E-commerce. I talked to an e-commerce store the other day. It's actually funny. I got on a call. Like, I booked an appointment with an e-commerce brand, and we didn't even mean to. Like, we just accidentally booked a call with them because they were in our lead list for some reason. And it was a guy that had granola bars, something like that. And I feel bad because they were like more higher quality protein bars or something like that, and I just called them granola bars. Anyways, he was saying like, yeah, I love to get into more gyms, more yoga studios, be distributed by more wholesalers, get into more stores, more Whole Foods, stuff like that. And I was like, man, nobody's doing that. Everybody I talk to in the e-commerce space, none of them are doing that. They're all doing, hey, we'll help you sell your products online. Like, no one's actually targeting physical stores. And so everyone, and I talk about this in a lot of other videos, there's these ups and downs and ups and downs. And so, everybody was on physical stores, and then Amazon came, and so now everything is in digital markets, right? And so we have all these digital markets, but now nobody's focusing on physical stores, right? And so you have all this opportunity to get into a store where people are actually walking around. Like 100 million people walk into Walmart every day, something like that. I don't know, it's crazy. And so you have 100 million people. Imagine being able to put our face, our product in front of 100 million people. And so how do we get into Walmart? How do we get into Whole Foods? Nobody's doing that. Everybody's doing, hey, I'll help you sell your granola bars online. So if you helped e-commerce stores get into stores or get into gyms or get into wherever they're trying to be, or fashion, if you're doing fashion, how to get into Rue 21 or whatever, I don't know. Anyways, that's an example of targeting a saturated niche, but with a more unique offer, and so no one really can compare to you because of that. Cool. All right, printing machines. I talked to a guy that was he sells like hats with your logo on it or shirts with your logo and stuff like that. And there's a lot of companies that do that, but you could help those companies reach out to companies, say, hey, I just want to see if we could send you a couple hats with your logo on it. And then we become your preferred partner for all your employees. Whenever you get an employee, we'll help you make your uniforms. I thought that would be a really good idea. Nobody's really doing that. Cardboard packaging, bankruptcy attorneys. That was actually a good one that I targeted once. General contractors, mortgage brokers, painters, employment agencies, PR agencies, don't think anyone's really targeting that, and it's really easy to get results for that in the B2B space. B2B software, insurance, brokers, agents, real estate, brokers, agents. Also, something that to think about when you're doing this is, I kind of just want to teach you how to think about this rather than actually giving you a list, because I think it'll help you if I teach you how to think about it. But there's your list. I'll put that in the comments below, and also I'll give you some ideas. If I were just starting out, I'll give you those ideas as well. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, insurance brokers, agents, real estate brokers and agents. Those are really good, or like accountants. Those markets that are really big, where there's like hundreds of thousands of them, is a really good market, because they're always evergreen. Like there's always a new one. There's always one that's never heard about you. There's always ones that have tried something in the past, but it didn't work. And so those markets where it's like an agent or like an accountant or insurance, stuff like that. I can't think of anything else, or if you could find one that's that I didn't mention right here, or that no one else is really targeting, but there's a ton of them, right? That's kind of what you want to look for. So a niche that has a ton, that has money, obviously, and that nobody else is targeting. If you have those three things within a niche, you're balling. All right, cool. What I would do if I was starting out and starting an agency, what would I do? All right, here's my list. Okay, if I was starting out, I would try accountants, as I just said, animal control, home inspection, and then architecture. And so the reason I choose these, so accountants, again, there's so many of them, and there are people targeting them, but there's just so many. And animal control, and they make okay money if you do like a corporate accountant, stuff like that. Animal control, the reason this is, I just think like no one's targeting them, right? And it would be so easy to run ads for them, and that's not really B2B, but you just run PPC ads. Home inspection. So I knew a guy that did home inspection, and it's like you charge a couple $100 per inspection, and you can do several per day. And so it's like, hey, we'll book your calendar full of home inspections. No, who's doing that? Like, I don't know anybody doing that. Architects, or architecture. Like, I talked to a guy that he wasn't an architect, but he sold solar plans to architects, and it worked really well for him. And so I think that would be a good, I don't know, just like nobody else is really targeting them. So that's kind of how I'm thinking, is like markets that no one's really targeting, that have some opportunity. Those are the niches that I would pick. So if I was starting out over and I had nothing, these niches would be the ones I would go after first. So probably, honestly, home inspection first, and then accountants, and then animal control, and then architects. So anyways, those are my ideas. You can steal them if you want to, but again, they're probably going to get saturated here in a couple months because I said it. So anyways, thank you for watching. I hope this was helpful for you. This is 17 minutes long about a niche video. I'm sorry that it's so long, but hopefully I gave you a lot of value. Thank you for watching. I'll see you soon.